let's do it, chat. Let's do it. It's time. It's time. I tested the world's most extreme steak recipes from Google Foods. Shit, man. More food stuff. Why not? You know? More entertaining shenanigans besides, like, you know, just taking a look at, you know, drama all the damn time, you know? It's nice to watch something a little bit, you know, either scary or food related shit. And besides that, I've been experimenting on cooking too as well. I actually cooked a really good salmon that was marinated with a seasoning or so.
Thanks, Freebird, for sponsoring this video.
Michelin star restaurant, there is a huge difference between 1 star, 2 star, and 3 stars. The 1st star is because your food is delicious. It's all about the taste. 2nd star, things start getting a little bit weird because it's all about the service and no longer just the food. The 3rd star is the food, the service, and your overall experience. And they charge you like they mean it. They're also using some insane techniques that I don't know if it's really worth your money. I'm gonna be trying a few of them today to see if it justifies the ridiculous cost that they're charging us.
How
We
much does
start
it
off
cost?
with this, a Japanese Wagyu A5 steak. As you can clearly see, it's
One of these days, I will try a Wagyu steak. I gotta at least try it one time in my life, at least, you know? I gotta try it at least one time. One time.
fat with a little bit of meat. Now, we don't need much. When you eat in a Michelin star restaurant, they don't give you a lot of food. You already know this. So we gotta portion size everything properly. However, there's one step we must take. In order to cut it like a Michelin star chef, we must flash freeze it. For that, I got myself
Flash
some dry
freeze it?
ice. Then I immediately laid the steak down. It doesn't take long and it will freeze the surface.
What the
Now, why
hell?
would you do this? For one specific reason. If your meat is extremely cold, it will be easier to cut straight. However, we don't want it frozen. So using the dry ice to get the job done makes sense. In no time at all, the crust got completely frozen. And check out as soon as I started slicing it. It is perfect. This technique is mainly used in Japan, and I'll be honest with you, it works like a charm. These cuts are so perfect that it seems like it was done by a machine. Next, to cook the beef, you need something exotic. This is a Himalayan salt block. You can literally buy it anywhere nowadays. The key is to get it super hot, but you gotta do it nice and slow, if not it will explode on you. Once it's heated up, check it out. The color completely changes. This thing is
What the
hot.
fuck?
And sear it on the salt block. Now, since it's extremely hot, it takes no time at all. And remember one thing.
What the fuck? Wait, you can cook on top of this thing? That's crazy. I did not know that, actually. At least the more you learn, I mean, apparently you can cook it on salt.
Since this is a very high-grade Japanese Wagyu beef, you don't want to overcook it. Most importantly, since you are using a salt block, there's no need for seasoning. It should be salty already once it's done. After putting it on a cracker,
Interesting.
add some caviar right on top. And to finish it, some yuzu balls, which is basically a citrus fruit that will bring acidity to fight the fattiness
What
of
the
the
fuck
Wagyu.
is
You
that?
finish it off with some spring onions. Now this is Michelin star style Wagyu steak.
Yeah, but that shit will cost you fucking an arm and a leg, to be honest. And I wouldn't pay an arm and a leg for that shit.
Going through all of this work, will it make the steak taste better?
Now here we have 2 versions. We have one with caviar and the other one without caviar. Now you could try what
I never had caviar. I have no idea what the fuck caviar tastes like. Apparently that's like some rich person food or something like that.
the cracker or without
Cannot
the cracker
relate.
is up to you, okay? The cracker is just there to do something.
Google, let's just
Not
forget the
relatable
cracker.
whatsoever.
Let's just go for the steak alone.
Fair enough. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Oh man, that is
It's
too
just
salty.
fish eggs.
Too salty.
With the caviar, that is ridiculously. I don't even taste steak, bro. That's nasty.
I'm having a good experience.
No, I have to
Damn,
say something.
too
The way you cook
salty.
it on the salt block, I think it was a perfect way to cook it so you get the full experience of the Wagyu. You get to really enjoy the taste and the texture of it. For this being my first time, it is, I don't think
Where
I've
the
ever
fuck
had
do
a
you
piece
buy
of
it
meat
from?
so
The fucking
tender,
sea or
so
something? You go to
flavorful.
Poseidon
I'm at a
asking
loss
him?
for it. It's
Hey,
actually,
can you shit out
magical.
fucking
Throughout this entire video, we're
caviar
going to
for
be rating
me?
the techniques from 1 to 10. I'm going to give my rating based on the amount of work I did, and you guys are going to be basing on how you like it. What's your rating?
2 out of 10.
Wow, damn, you're harsh.
Not a fan.
You,
8 out of 10.
you know what? I'm also gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Would I recommend you buy an entire salt block just to do this? Absolutely not,
No.
everybody. Save your money with the salt block and buy more steaks.
This next steak takes herb to a whole nother level. I was shocked when I saw this with my own eyes. Let
that
me show
candle?
you. You can literally choose any herbs you like, but these are the most popular ones. It's rosemary, thyme, and parsley. Now the first thing we need to do is dehydrate them instantly. And here's how. Chop them nice and small. If not, it's not gonna work. Once that's
Okay.
done, put it in a safe container. We're gonna throw them in Chef Mike. Yes, microwaving them will instantly dry everything out. And it doesn't take long.
Okay.
60 seconds is good enough. Now we need to pulverize the whole thing. A coffee grinder will do the job quickly. In the end, you're left with this. Fresh herbs that is going to take your steak to another level.
I should probably make my own fresh herbs, to be honest.
Now here's how we put everything together. First, melt some butter. You gotta use expensive butter, like European style.
Expensive butter? I didn't even know butter can come expensive, to be honest.
Then throw your herbs mix in there. Mix it really good. Once it's fully combined, throw in some garlic and let that infuse the flavor. Next, go ahead and remove all of the garlic and you should be left with this, the green gold liquid of Michelin star chefs. Now get yourself a mold, fill it up with the mix you just made, and next put a smoky flavor. And for that, I'll be using a smoke gun. It takes no time at all. The longer you do it, the smokier the flavor will be.
What the flying fuck? You gotta smoke your food? I've never heard of this one, to be honest.
Once that's done, into the refrigerator it goes to solidify. Now you can go ahead and get started on your steak. You can treat it however you like. If you want to cook it in the pan, it's fine, it does not matter. But you already know my preferred way of cooking a steak.
Grill?
That would be with charcoal. And if a Michelin star
Charcoal?
chef is not using that, his stars are fake. There's nothing that will beat fire, beef, and smoke together. It's just incredible. Because once that's done, check out what happened with the butter. It went through an extreme process. Was all of the work worth it? You can literally use this in any steak. And I'm wondering if this will make my steak better or if Michelin star food is just a
One of these days, I'm gonna have a steak. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of these days, I'll eat a steak. You know. My God, it's so nice seeing a clean grill, unlike yesterday. True, you're not wrong. After what we've seen yesterday, it feels nice to actually see actual clean utensils in a clean kitchen.
fraud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
One day we'll
I'm
one day
gonna
we'll
be
eat a
honest,
steak.
guys. That
That
might be
shit
the most flavorful
traumatized me,
butter
man.
we've
That
tried.
shit pissed me off. I
Smoky,
ain't gonna lie, to be
salty,
honest.
rich, delicious.
Charcoal adds
It's got-
flavor. Yeah, cause we eat carne asada, right? Like we eat carne asada, but we use charcoal on our carne asada. Never thought of using steak or so to cook it. So
crunch to it as well. That's really good.
You can really taste the smokiness that you added to the butter, the herbs and garlic mixed
that's
in.
all I eat
It's
is
really good.
steak.
Even though-
Must be nice to be rich.
The steak is pretty regular, but by adding that kind of compound butter, you feel everything. What's your rating on this one, sir?
8 out of 10.
7.5.
I love having these two next to me because they didn't do any of the work, but the amount of work this is, I'm giving it a 6 because it is better, but it didn't improve it so much that the work is so worth it. But obviously, it is a better steak.
Next up, we are about to bring
Tomahawk
some
steak?
madness technique to the test. As you can clearly see, it's that type of steak you don't see every
What the
day.
fuck
Let me
is
show you how
that?
it's made. You gotta start with a good quality steak on this one. This is an Australian Wagyu Marbling score 7 and 8. Get it nicely seasoned and cook it sous vide. Believe it or not, most
Sous
Michelin
vide?
star restaurants you go
What's
to,
a
they
sous
use this
vide?
technique. It's consistent, it gets you perfect results every time. No wonder why I have an entire channel dedicated to this method. I love it. As that's going, get yourself these
The fuck are you supposed to put it in a container of fucking water and shit? What is it? Fucking taking a bath or something? You gotta drown your steak and shit?
As that's going, get yourself these ingredients. This is gochucaro, garlic, and Sichuan peppercorn. The flavor profile combination of these ingredients will create something extremely unique. And here's how. You first heat up a neutral oil. Avocado will work. Heat that up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now throw all of those ingredients together into a pan. Then immediately go in with the oil. This takes no time at all, and it is the same exact process of creating chili oil. However, this one will literally paralyze your mouth for a little bit as you're eating it.
Ugh, that'd be too much for my stomach, to be honest. Chili oil? Mm-mm. No,
and that's
sir.
all because of the Sichuan peppercorn. Once that's done, strain the whole thing.
No,
we
thank
only
you.
want the oil and nothing else. By this time, the sous-vide steak was perfectly cooked. You want to go ahead, take it out of the
fuck? You
bag, pat it
cooked that
dry
thing?
really good, and heat up that oil you just made. Get it nice and hot. We are literally frying the steak with it, getting
What
not only
the
a perfect
hell?
crust, but also flavor. It takes time, and the more you do it, the better the crust gets. In the end, you are left with an incredible, flavorful steak that can also give you
Huh, interesting. That kind of gives me an idea for something in the future, actually, to be honest. Maybe for salmon, maybe? Question mark?
a tingly sensation. To finish it up, heat up some sugar in a pan. Do it nice and slow. As soon as it becomes caramel, set it down on aluminum foil or parchment paper, because as soon as it cools down, you want to eat that together with your steak.
What the
And the
fuck?
plating is as fancy as it gets. You start with the steak, get yourself some mashed potato. And remember the solids that was used from the chili oil? Just add that to the mashed potato. Let's just see if all of this work was actually worth it.
Cheers.
What the hell? Chili oil is so spicy, at least for me. I think it'll be too much for my stomach because it'll feel like I'm gonna regurgitate the food back up or so.
Wow.
Wow, what a completely different experience, huh? Felix, have you ever had Australian Wagyu?
No, never.
Say it.
This is the best steak I've ever had. It's like if you take a regular steak, added a lot more fat, and just made it 10 times better.
I love the crunch that you get from this like caramelized sugar. And the other thing too is that the sweetness that it brings to the steak perfectly balances all that fattiness. That's awesome.
The combination of the caramelized sugar, the slight spiciness from the
I
chili
kind of
oil,
like burp
it's
the
perfect.
food out.
Unfortunately,
because
it is
my
a
stomach
tremendous
acid.
amount of
Like,
work,
it just want,
but
like
this
the
thing
food just
is
wants to come
good,
back up,
everybody.
burning
What
my
can I
esophagus.
say?
Not only do you have the wonderful
And it has
beefy,
burned my
fatty
esophagus
flavor of a
multiple
Wagyu,
times.
but you have that sous vide tenderness too. It's incredible.
Leo.
9.
Do you boil it or
Wow,
something? Do you
you-
like, do you cook it? Do you boil the meat or
Wow!
something?
I'm gonna give it a 9 too. That's pretty good.
I also just love the crust of this steak. That chili oil made it nice, crispy, and crackly. That is awesome.
But before moving forward, I want to thank Freebird for sponsoring this.
Wow, free bird? We get a free bird? Dude, I want to order a free bird. That's pretty crazy. Oh my goodness gracious me. Anyways.
Welcome, Kit. Thanks, Freebird, for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get right back to it.
Next up, a method that was developed in Korea. Let me show you. Get yourself some short rib. You want this thing to cook quickly, so I split the whole thing in half. Now get some chopsticks and start cutting them this way. In the end, check it out. This is what you're left with. And it did double the
Whoa.
surface area of the short rib. Now make a quick marinade, starting with some soy sauce, mirin, some sesame seed oil, honey, and gochujang paste. Now mix that all together and combine these ingredients, and your marinade is done. Now get yourself a bowl of ice. Shaved ice is better. And here's how this technique works, which I first saw it on my good friend Nick's video. I did a full reaction video on my Guga channel, which is my lifestyle channel where I travel all over the world and sometimes do crazier things.
Yeah, it must be nice to travel around the world. Must be nice.
In this channel. Highly recommend
Cannot
you check it
relate.
out if you haven't, because this is how this technique works. You want to first start the sear, but then you immediately cool it down. As you do so, you're also basting it with the sauce, creating additional flavor and making it great. And then you go right back into the fire,
What the
and
fuck?
you repeat the process once again. You do it so as many times as necessary until you get a beautiful crust. And the idea behind it is that you're not going to overcook the beef, making it better. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit skeptical, as the longer I do this, the more waste of time it seems to be. But who am I to judge? I will say it looks fancy, especially when you make a lettuce wrap out of it. Just the way they do it in Korea.
that
I have
looks
a feeling
so
this one is gonna
good.
taste
I ain't gonna lie,
good.
that
But the
does look
question
good.
is, does going back and forth on the ice and fire actually does something? Or
Nah, I'm
this
not
is
really
just
much of a huge
complete
traveler, to be
nonsense?
honest.
Let's find out.
I'm just saying it just for
Okay.
comedic purposes.
I really like the flavor of the steak, but I do not like the texture.
Is it too tender for you?
It's not
It'd be
that
too
it's too
exhausting
tender, it's
for
just
me.
like this way of cutting it, it makes a small bite feel so much larger. Like I have to put more work to chew it.
Honestly, a lot better. But the one thing that is throwing me off is the technique you use to cool it down while you're cooking it.
Texturally, I feel like this one is more tender and it is also more flavorful because there is more surface area. But overall, what's your rating?
6 out of 10.
Yours?
8 out of 10.
I'm actually gonna give it a 7. Overall, not the greatest technique.
This steak cooking method is called cryo steak, but there's a good explanation why it has that name. Here's how it works. Grab yourself a nice steak. This one is choice grade, 1.5 inches thick and perfect. Season the whole thing however you like. I like mine with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. You want to let the salt penetrate and dry out. For that, leave it overnight on your refrigerator. The very next day, when you take it out, notice one thing. All of the salt is gone. That's because it's deeply in there. Now you want to slow cook it some way somehow. You can use a sous-vide machine or put it on your smoker for a smoky flavor. Just make sure that
I
the
do not have a smoker, and I do not have a sous-vide machine or whatever the fuck it's called, you know?
temperature is not too high. Mine was 175 degrees Fahrenheit. As that was going, I had to run a different experiment. So I thought, what if I just grab myself some vodka, which can take extreme heat, throw it in a beaker, and get the coldest thing possible, which would be dry ice. It's literally below 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, this thing's cold. So I went ahead and broke it in half, and that was not easy to do. Then I threw in dry ice right inside of the vodka, and I thought that it was gonna get the vodka super cold, which is what I wanted, instead of using liquid nitrogen. However, to test this out, I got a little piece of steak, put it in there together with the liquid nitrogen, and I thought that it was gonna freeze it. When I took it out, it didn't work. But then I had a crazier idea.
Do not try this one at home. Here's my setup right now. I got the oil at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. I got the dry ice. The steak is fully cooked, as you already know. I am confident that you don't need liquid nitrogen for this. Let's do it. No sound. Let that freeze. Take that out. Take a look at that steak. Oh yes. Some protection right here. And we're gonna go from here to a 500-degree oil. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, and now it's gonna be quick. We don't want it too long.
You know what this is? You know what this is reminding me of? It reminds me of that one meme or so. This reminds me of this one meme. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the meme or so. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Can I find it by any chance? Oh, yeah, here. Accurate. Jeez, this is what it reminds me of. Real and true.
Only about a few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm very happy with that cryo-fried
Whoa,
experiment.
that looks good.
Set
What
it down.
the hell?
Look at that
That
beautiful,
does really look
even
good,
crust.
actually.
Now the question is, all this work, was it even worth it?
Check out the crust. It's unlike any other.
Damn,
but as
that
soon
looks
as I
crazy
sliced
good.
it, it's also unlike anything else I've ever done. I'm wondering how it's going to
Sheesh.
taste, as it did had a crunchy crust. So to really
I have
make it
no idea what
Michelin
that is,
star
to be honest.
style, I added a sauce on the bottom with a few garnish on top to make it as fancy as possible, so I can charge you an arm and a leg.
Give me your honest opinion. Cheers.
Cheers.
Completely different texture.
I feel like this one's almost softer.
Much softer.
Yeah.
It's a little bit softer and not as crunchy. And it has a little bit of a weird, I don't know what that taste is, but it has a little bit of an off taste.
It has a weird flavor.
A little bit.
1 out of 10. You.
I'm giving it a 7.
7. How about you?
I don't hate it, so I'll give it a 6.
A 6. Wow, fantastic. We're starting with a bang because I'm giving it a 1. Do that one much safer, everybody. This is some bull. Don't try this at home. Complete waste of time.
So
That
it's
was
not
a
good.
tremendous
Okay.
amount of work, and I don't know if it was worth it. But I understand, and I have a lot more respect after trying these techniques for Michelin star restaurants. For me, is it worth it? Absolutely not. And yes,
So basically what you're saying, Guga, people who are going to these Michelin star restaurants are getting conned, basically, is what I'm hearing. Okay.
They are good, but how good are they? I would much rather cook a bunch of steaks for my friends and enjoy it at home. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
So basically, people who go to these restaurants are basically getting highway robbery. If he thinks that steak was bad, send him to YHT Salt Guy's restaurant. No, we're doing like he's testing different recipes from Michelin star restaurants, what they do. So who would have guessed the flare had no function? Yeah, so basically a lot of these extreme like steak recipes are just not super great. There's only like one that's actually pretty good apparently from what he has said specifically, but it's still not even worth it at the end of the day. So because of the excessive work that you have to do and the excessive things like you have to buy in order just to make one specific steak for it. So it's just kind of like, oh, okay, all right. So basically people who are going to these restaurants are basically getting robbed at the end of the day. They're just straight up getting robbed, you know? So, yeah, well, that's a rich people problem. That ain't none of my thing, to be honest. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. What are you sending me? Stop sending me porn links, dubstep.
Dollars for that.
There's another thing that you just sent me.
There's no way a blender needs to be involved here.
What is that? Is he going to make ground beef? Water?
Okay, alrighty then.
Wait, what?
Let's make a smoothie.
Is he gonna make a
smoothie.
milkshake? Oh.
Oh, okay. All right, that's something else. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.